In the distance, there are countless Strigoi gathering their strength. Justine collapsed after seeing this. She had promised to protect every resident of Red Hook, but now their police force is insufficient to resist these Strigoi. Upon seeing this, Sheriff Frank suggests that Justine go to Staten Island and leave the defense to them. However, Justine doesn't want to abandon her people. She would rather die here than escape alone. Seeing Justine's determined attitude, Frank suggests another solution. Soon, Justine arrives at the residential area and starts a speech, confessing the Strigoi attacks to everyone. She hopes that everyone can take up arms and fight against the Strigoi invasion together, protecting their homeland. On the other side, F and the others successfully enter the power plant. What catches their eyes are corpses lying all over the place. They continue to move forward when suddenly a group of Strigoi launches a surprise attack. The group can only hastily respond. Suddenly, a Strigoi sits up and stares at Zach. It turns out he was transmitting information to Kelly. F quickly kills him, but it doesn't stop the transmission. After obtaining Zach's location, Kelly prepares to go alone. Eichhorst goes to find Abraham for a duel. Nora finds a way to restore power plant in this book. Seeing that they can handle it, F prepares to help Abraham fight against Eichhorst. The Strigoi launch a full-scale attack, with hundreds and thousands of them charging towards the Red Hook neighborhood. At Frank's command, everyone starts shooting frantically. The Strigoi at the forefront are killed one after another, but their numbers exceed the bullets. The Strigoi withstand the barrage from dozens of rifles and tear a large hole in the iron barricade. Realizing the situation is unfavorable, Frank immediately orders the team members to retreat to the next defensive line. Some slow-running officers are knocked down by the Strigoi on the spot. Just when everyone is in despair, Justine leads all the residents and rushes out. To protect their homeland, they pick up weapons and fight desperately against the Strigoi. However, these residents lack combat experience, and humans are still at a disadvantage. On the other side, following the instructions, Nora successfully restores the power in the power plant. At this moment, people feel deep despair as the Strigoi keep coming endlessly. After the power is restored, UV lights turn on one after another. The Strigoi exposed to the lights are instantly burned. In this battle, humans finally achieve the ultimate victory, while Vasily and Nora are celebrating. Zach discovers that Kelly has come. Kelly grabs a stick and starts hitting the glass. Vasily goes out and fires at Kelly, but unfortunately, only one shot hits. However, she manages to escape, leaving behind a pool of white blood. On the other side, Abraham finally confronts Eichhorst. Just as the two begin their duel, F, who is lying in ambush, suddenly fires a shot. This angers Eichhorst, who pushes Abraham aside and goes straight for F. Seeing the unfavorable situation, F runs upstairs but eventually gets trapped on the rooftop. Just as Eichhorst is about to kill F, Abraham arrived in time and hit Eichhorst. Eichhorst, with bullets raining down on him, jumps off the building. The group enters someone's house, but suddenly a Strigoi launches a surprise attack. Abraham dodges it and then beheads him. Immediately after, another Strigoi emerges from the room, and Vasily shoots him in the head. All of their efforts were for a book called the Oxydolumen, which contains methods to destroy Strigoi. Abraham found 3 households based on the names provided by the bishop. After verifying the information, it was clear that this was not the place they were looking for. On the other side, F was spying on Palmer from the building across. He was planning to assassinate Palmer to avenge his friend. At around 3 o'clock, Palmer was scheduled to have a press interview downstairs, so F started staking out on the rooftop in advance. Soon, Palmer appeared, and F immediately aimed his gun at him. However, there were too many people at the scene, making it impossible to hit the target. Just as Palmer was about to enter the building, a journalist suddenly stopped him. This exposed Palmer completely under the muzzle. At this moment, F took a crucial shot. Then F looked through the scope again, confirming Palmer lying on the ground and the blood on the wall. Before quickly leaving the scene, Palmer was not hit by F. It was Marchand who was shot. Dutch and he just came down from upstairs. A plainclothes agent discovered the clues. Seeing this, F and Dutch immediately ran into an alley. The plainclothes agent were in hot pursuit of the 2 men. Suddenly, an iron gate appeared in front of him, and F successfully climbed over it. But when Dutch was climbing, the officer caught up and subdued her. F hesitated for a moment, then decided to turn and escape. However, at that moment, several police cars arrived from all directions, and F and Dutch were apprehended. On the other side, Vasily and the others followed the clues to a bookstore. There were tens of thousands of books displayed. but they couldn't find any clues about the oxidolumen. Just then, they heard the news of Palmer's assassination on the radio, mentioning that a man and a woman involved in the crime had been arrested. Upon hearing this, they felt uneasy. It must be F and Dutch. If the charges were confirmed, the two of them would likely face execution, so Vasily and Nora prepared to go and rescue them. On the other side, Palmer's private doctor was trying to save Marchand's life. Then he asked Eichhorst to find the blood ancestor to save Marchand, saying that if the blood ancestor did not come to save her, he would terminate his cooperation with the blood ancestor from now on. Eichhorst had no choice but to inform the blood ancestor. After a long wait, Marchand's surgery was completed. Although rescue efforts saved her life, it is still unclear whether she can be revived after the bullet hit her nervous system. Palmer fell into deep despair upon hearing this. Meanwhile, F and Dutch were locked up in the police station. Suddenly, a few police officers came and took Dutch away separately. F tried to intervene and immediately explained that she had nothing to do with it. The police officer hit F in response. At this moment, Abraham was still searching for the oxidolumen in the bookstore. Suddenly, a Strigoi appeared behind him. Fortunately, Abraham escaped the attack through the reflection of the mirror, and then turned around and cut off the Strigoi head directly. Immediately after, Abraham turned the severed Strigoi head around and realized that it was not the person he was looking for. Now, only one place remains. Marchand was about to die, and suddenly a shadow flashed from behind. Palmer quickly got up to check, but found no one around. However, when he turned back, he saw the blood ancestor already by Marchand's bedside. The blood ancestor did not respond, but opened Marchand's mouth directly. A milky white liquid dripped into her mouth. In an instant, her pale skin regained its color, and Marchand slowly opened her eyes. She was startled by the strange-looking man in front of her and quickly asked Palmer what had happened. Upon seeing this, Palmer began to confess to her that in order to achieve the goal of immortality, he had been cooperating with the blood ancestor. Marchand couldn't believe what she heard. On the other side, F has been kept in detention. Suddenly, strange noises came from outside, and in the next second, a group of Strigoi stormed into the police station. The officers pulled out their guns in response, but the Strigoi flooded in like a raging river. Under the fierce assault of the Strigoi, the entire police station had begun to fall. Seeing the situation, the officers ran into F's cell and quickly locked the door. Just then, a Strigoi leaped over. F quickly pulled the police officers to stand against the wall, because this way the Strigoi flesh thorns could not bite them. The officer then shot and killed the Strigoi, but the gunshot attracted the attention of all the Strigoi. All the Strigoi rushed towards the prison cell and spat at the two of them. The officers started killing the Strigoi one by one, but they soon ran out of bullets. Just as he was about to change the magazine, he was suddenly bitten on his arm by a flesh thorn. In F's despair, Vasily and Nora arrived in time. They carried out silverware and massacred wildly, and soon all the Strigoi in the police station were slaughtered. It was only then that Vasily noticed Dutch was not there. F said she was taken away a few hours ago. Just then, a surviving officer walked in. He was dumbfounded at the sight of the Strigoi corpses all over the place. The group then asked him about Dutch's whereabouts, and the frightened officer immediately revealed her location. She was taken to the Mayfield Hotel, 5 kilometers away. On the other side, Abraham found the address of the last house. He searched through every nook and cranny but found no clues, which caused Abraham to break down on the spot. He started slashing around with his sword, but then he noticed something strange about the sound of the floor beneath his feet. So he kicked aside the carpet and indeed found a hidden compartment. After opening it, he saw an object wrapped in cloth. Abraham uncovered the cloth and found a silver book. Upon opening the book, the words "the oxidolumen" were prominently written on it. It seemed to be the thing he had been searching for. Then Abraham continued to look through it, and sure enough, all the things recorded in it were about the Strigoi. Suddenly someone attacked him from behind. Obviously, that person was also after this book. In the hotel, Dutch was tightly bound by iron chains. Eichhorst is bringing her to the table little by little. Afterward, Eichhorst left the secret room. However, he soon returned, this time bringing a police officer with him. Right in front of Dutch, Eichhorst extended his fangs and directly bit the police officer. Seeing Dutch's terrified gaze, Eichhorst was quite satisfied. On the other side, Abraham woke up from unconsciousness and found himself tied to a chair. It turned out that the owner of the book, Rudyard, was the one who knocked him out. Abraham said he now wanted the book and asked Rudyard to name a price. But upon hearing this, Rudyard didn't want to make a deal with Abraham, stating that there were others interested in buying the book. So Rudyard prepared to auction it off, and the highest bidder would get it. After hearing this, Abraham advised him not to do it. If this book falls into Palmer's hands, humanity will face a catastrophic disaster. Ignoring Abraham's advice, Rudyard insisted on auctioning the book. Vasily and the others found the Mayfield Hotel based on the clues. Downstairs, they found a police car with its doors open. After searching, Nora found Dutch's hat in the back seat. Dutch suddenly noticed the spray on the policeman's body. In order to escape from Eichhorst, Dutch had to reach for it desperately. Just then, Eichhorst, who had finished resting, prepared to go back to the secret room. After opening the door, Dutch was sitting on the floor eating something, seemingly unaware of anything suspicious. But suddenly, Eichhorst ordered Dutch to take off his pants, leaving Dutch completely bewildered. Under Eichhorst's order, Dutch could only do it. Then, Eichhorst applied lipstick to Dutch's lips. Next, Eichhorst ordered Dutch to turn around, while he himself sat directly on the floor.
Spread your legs. Bend over.
At that moment, Dutch suddenly turned around and took out the spray she had hidden in advance, spraying it in his face. The burning sensation from the spray caused Eichhorst to fall to the ground and struggle in pain. Dutch took advantage of the situation to search his body and quickly unlocked the iron chains. But when she escaped from the secret room, she realized that all the exits in the hotel had been sealed off. The elevators had also stopped running. As Dutch continued to search for a way out, Eichhorst's voice came from ahead. In a panic, Dutch ran around, but luckily, she eventually found a safe passage. Meanwhile, Vasily and the others started going up the stairs.